nothing much. I'm doing good. Oh, I see that Florida A&M hat right there. Yeah. Rattlers, yeah.
So how did you think your offense performed out there?
I think we had a solid day. I think every single day that we go out there and we're extremely competitive, we're always trying to get after it, hone in on the little details, just playing our role. We have a Hall of Fame quarterback who puts the ball on the money, just being in your spots, offensive line, hitting their spots, hitting their points on their backers and everything, and open up run lanes. It was a solid day.
Did you end up taking Aaron up on that, on living with him?
No, I did not end up taking him up on it because my brother ended up coming with me, so we got a townhome out there in Hanover, New Jersey, no doubt.
Was it not that much really tackling in these practices? Is there still a part of you that's like, I really want to run into that guy?
Yeah, all day, so that's why that's what the games are for, where you get in the games, you finally get to put your physicality on full display. But for right now, I'll just take some hard blocking reps, until I really get to the meat and potatoes.
What did you think of your preseason debut, and what did you take out?
I really took it in, the experience and the atmosphere, realizing that's the pinnacle of your dreams as a kid. You always wanted to play in the NFL, and for me to finally go out in the MetLife Stadium and just really soak in that atmosphere and just be a part of something so special like that. And then just being a part of the game, a game that we played since kids, and physicality of the game's still the same. Guys are a lot smarter, a lot more heads up. But the speed of the game, the physicality of the game is all the same, and just adapting and kind of getting your feet wet in it.
Contributing on special teams, just how was that for you, just getting the return kicks and everything back there?
Very comfortable for me, even though I didn't get the opportunity to really put it on film in college a lot. But they've gave me reps after reps after reps, and kind of just building my confidence through reps, and that's what I need. Being on kick return, punt return is something that I'm looking forward to and excited to do all season.
Did you do it at all in college?
No, I didn't. So this is, just having the ball in my hands is something that I've always done. But as far as the return and special teams, that's something new for me.
Does the kickoff return with the new rules, does that feel more like an offensive play than kind of a punt does?
100%. The kickoff it's kind of like a gap scheme run. The guy's already kind of positioned, and you see the lane and you just hit it full speed, only cutting when you need to. It's kind of just the plays are there to be made, and I'm extremely excited about the new rule change.
Because you didn't do it a lot at Western Kentucky, how did you get prepared for that?
Like I said, just taking reps and reps and reps. I'm a person that, 10,000 reps is what perfects something really, and more so just 10,000 perfect reps. So, just trying to focus in on beating the ball to the spot, elbows in, just the little details, because after I get the ball in my hands, I can just kind of do whatever I want to do with it, and that's been my game my entire life. But I'm just focusing on the details as far as catching the ball. Yeah.
What areas are you focused on improving right now?
As far as the return goes?
No,
being a wide receiver, just focusing on, carrying my depths, really not so focused on just winning the route early, but just running the route and being in the right spot. Because when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback out there, as long as you're in the right spot on the field, that ball is going to find you every single time. So, just understand the playbook and understand how the plays are designed to go, and just being in the right spot for myself and, working releases, things that I didn't get to do at Western Kentucky, getting off press and everything like that. So it's been really fun, and I really fell in love with kind of just perfecting my craft in that way.
How has working with Garrett and Allen kind of helped you learn the offense?
That's been unbelievable, because especially Alan Lazard, who's been with Aaron for years, and at this point, he's a master in this offense. He knows all the little nuances and all the technicalities of it. So being out there, having Alan at Z and everything, every time I'm lined up with him, if there's a little small detail to it, he always makes sure that I'm on the field, that I'm good. And then having Garrett out there, someone who's extremely competitive and brings that, fiery nature, also being just so crafty and creative as a route runner and just taking things from him. Just noticing how they attack the day every single day. They're always trying to get better and improve themselves. So that's something I've taken from myself as well.
Did you have a moment in spring where you walked on the field with Rodgers maybe the first time? And you're like, holy crap.
Yeah. So that's part of just being mindful and aware, just knowing that every single day, that's still the same situation. Like, holy crap, I'm in the NFL and for the New York Jets, and I'm going out on this field with Aaron Rodgers and Tyron Smith and Hall of Fame guys. I've been following Garrett on Instagram since I was, 16 years old, watching him at Lake Travis High School and everything like that. So I'm playing with guys that, I've idolized for a long time. So it's something to take in and be special and appreciate every single day. So not just once in a while, but all the time.
Do you think Zach asked the question about your physicality in practice? Are you looking forward to more games where you can kind of show that part of your?
Yeah, 100%. Like, even I left today, I said I ain't really getting to put my hands on guys today. Honestly, even in the run game, I didn't get too many reps to really put my hands on guys and show off my physicality. But that's what I look forward to doing every single day. So in these preseason games, hopefully this last game only got to play till halftime. Hopefully this game I get a lot more burn and really get to show off my physicality and really just, play a full game, get myself in shape going in to San Francisco and everything, and just show guys what I'm all about as far as physicality goes.
Between you and Braylon, is it kind of exciting having a couple guys like that?
Yeah.
Just wear defenders down, but you're just trying to go through them.
No question, because when he's wearing guys down, that just makes it easier for me because guys don't want to tackle me either, or vice versa, And when he's punishing safeties and corners and everything, that just excites me and wants me to do the exact same thing. And even just getting in position to spring blocks for him, knowing what he's going to do after the fact. Even when I catch the ball, I've seen him running down the field in front of me and everything. So it's kind of just bouncing off each other. Him and Isaiah, too, we're rookie guys, and we're all kind of that same echelon trying to punish guys and run through guys. So it's good to have guys around you like that as well.
People have talked about your style of play being compared to Debo.
Yes, sir.
Is that someone that you looked up to, that you followed?
Absolutely. Even in college, he was an extremely good route runner before he got the tag of being, this physical player who runs through guys and is able to line up in the backfield and everything. So, parts of his game, just things, especially right now, that I've taken away from, just his ability to run through the tackles and then in space being able to make guys miss and really hit those gaps full speed. Because in this league, a lot of guys make some business decisions sometimes, and running through guys over and over, guys kind of get tired of that. You start to notice guys taking side swipes and everything like that, and it's just a physical brand of football, and everyone's not built for it.
And even matched up with sauce.
Yeah, absolutely.
He likes to talk. Is he giving you, your introduction?
Yeah, no doubt. It's always good on good when you're going against a guy like Sauce Gardner, extremely tall, long. Our coach calls him Stretch Armstrong. He's tall. He's tall as I don't know what. So extremely talented guy, and can learn a lot of things from even just working releases with him or before and after practice. Just trying to get a gist of what it is to play a really top elite corner in the NFL.
How would you describe the joint practice today?
I thought it was, it's always good to have someone else across from you, right? So just getting to do that today with a good team, especially they got a good DB room. So for our receiver room, it was a good day, just a good experience for us to get out and see how we're stacking up. But we started slow, which can't happen, but it's going to happen. So you got to find a way to bounce back, finish strong, and I feel like we did that. I feel like we got better today.
Why did you start out slow? What was going on there?
I'm not exactly sure. We're going to go back and talk about it, figure out exactly why we started slow. But I know personally I got to, dig deep and find that and make sure that, I'm part of the reason why we're taking that, the step to having energy as soon as we come out there. I got to be one of the guys that's getting us all ready to go. And today I felt like, I was, part of the sheep, feeling sorry for myself a little bit to start. But that can't be the case. We gotta roll.
It seems like you guys have in like a 2-minute drill move the ball periods at the end of practice. You guys have done a pretty good job of getting the ball upfield, getting in the right position, and stuff like that. How much have you guys grown in that area?
A lot. Aaron's one of the best all time in that situation. So for us, it's all about be at our spots, make sure we're getting all our details, and just the process that he has pre-snap with all that, just making sure you're on all of it, because if you are, you got a chance to, like you said, get down the field fast and find a way to steal some yards. We kind of, as a receiver room, we find that 2-minute opportunities, which is whether it's at the end of the half or end of the game, as an opportunity to steal some yards, right? You can go make a play and get 40 yards for the game all of a sudden, right, and go help us win the game. So that's when you got to be at your best. That's how I've always looked at it. The ball's going up in the air, so just be detailed. And we're still building on it, but like I said, 8 makes it pretty easy out there as far as 2 minutes. He's got a great process, and it's our job to, be on our details.
Garrett, can you explain the give and take between a quarterback and receiver when you're working to get on the cliche same page, right? So
No.
You play football a certain way. Aaron wants it done a certain way, but it's not all a one-way street. How you guys?
Yeah. I would say you definitely got to talk about it, and being able to have some harder conversations, being able to have conversations where he's telling me what he wants and I've got to listen to that and I weigh in and how I feel, and then we come to a decision together. I don't know. It's kind of just spending time together and playing. You start to build this chemistry, this understanding for how he goes about his and how I go about mine, right? It happens naturally. So, I wouldn't say we're putting like extra, thought into it at this point. We felt like we're in a good spot. We definitely had to make up some time to start, but we felt like we picked up kind of where we left off, and now it's just about stacking days and finding a way to get better in little ways. It's all the little things, the details that I just spoke on, the pre-snap stuff, stuff that may not show up you know, on a stat sheet or you know, even on a TV copy of a game. But you know, if you know ball, you know there's a lot more to it, right? And those are the things we're building on.
What do you think you've improved most, Garrett?
Say it again?
What do you think you've improved the most under new camp? Where do you feel like you've improved the most this offseason?
Just being consistent. I feel like I've stacked some days, you know, this camp, and that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be stronger, and I feel like that's helped me stack the days, right? I feel like, you know, if I found a way to get stronger this past off season, you know, at the start of this training camp and lift hard, you know, after a hard practice, things like that I had to add to my repertoire is like it'll help me in the long run. That's kind of how I looked at it, and I feel like it has. You know, I still got a long way to go to get to where I want to be at, but you know, I feel good about where I'm at right now, and you know, at the end of the day, I don't play tomorrow. We don't play a game tomorrow. I still got some time to go. You know, find that 1% each day, and that's what I plan to do. And I'm just excited for the opportunity, man. You know, I really feel like I have a lot to give, so I just got to keep finding a way to, you know, chomp at the bit and get better every day.
But what do you personally get out of these joint practices?
Yeah, I mean, it's just good to see another DB across from me, another team, different colors. See how your stuff works. You know, when I'm going against Sauce and DJ, you know, and I got these releases, you know, they've seen them for a good while now sometimes, right? And what they're studying it, they're taking their notes down and you know, figuring out my tendencies, whether they're doing it intentionally or unintentionally. It just happens because, you know, the time we spend together and how we go about our business, you know, we're really serious at when we have these practices together, as far as when we do it within our team. But when you go and do a joint practice, it's like, this is a realer look. This is a look that's going to translate to Sundays because they haven't seen me for 3 years straight, right? And for that, it's kind of just like refreshing. You know, I feel like it can kill your confidence a little bit going against your own defense all the time, right? Especially when they're as good as ours is, because it can be tough sledding. You know, they can start to run the route for you just because they they know what's coming, and sometimes you start to feel that when it gets about day 15, 16 of camp and you've had OTAs, but you know, that's why it's good to have these change-ups for sure.
I know you'd prefer, Garrett, that you probably throw it every single play.
Yeah.
But how have you seen the run game kind of develop? Because it seems that, I mean, we all know what Brees can do. But
Yeah.
don't make plays. Isaiah's making plays. Like, how
Yeah.
have you seen that come together?
I mean, the O-line is moving people, man. It's been really cool to see, and knowing what that does as far as just football and the philosophy and how it makes the game easier, how it opens up everything, and how it translates to winning games. You know, it's really cool to see. And like you said, we got Brees, and then you know, just these young dudes that are dogs, man. And every time they get the rock, they run like their life depended on it. You know, and it's been open. You know, it's been really cool to see. So seeing them get to the second level as often as they did today, and you know, get out of the stack clean is. You know, I'm smiling every time just because I know all of a sudden they're going to have to bring a dude up to respect that run game, and all of a sudden these windows open up on the back end. It's really cool to see, and it all correlates. It all works with each other.
Take a couple more. Stone told us that before Washington or whatever you said, turn me loose. What led to that? Do you ever say that to like Hackett and guys like that to make sure that you're more involved or whatever?
That was more of just like, hey, don't take me out of practice. Don't let me. Don't take me off these reps, like just because of you know, in the NFL you see certain things happen when there's joint practices, right? And I want them to know that, you know, I want to go out there and be a part of every rep. I want to go out there and compete, man. This is what this sport's about, you know. And like I said, I value these joint practices, these things, getting able to get a different look, you know. So for me, it was more of just like, I want SJ to know that he doesn't have to like cater to me or nothing like that. Treat me like, you know what I'm saying, just treat me like a guy that's got to go prove everything, right? And that's what I wanted to do. So that's really all I meant with that. I wanted to go play football. I love this game, and sometimes I feel like these practices, man, they go by quick, you know. So let me get, you know, my 25 reps, 30 reps, so I can feel like I really got something out of it. And that's all that was there. I just was excited to go against a different team.
Do you feel like
That's true after out here.
Do you feel like you have something to prove?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So damn right. You know, that's the reality of it. And in this league, you know, the moment you stop feeling like that, you're probably not going to be in it much longer. So I'll say that.
Garrett, how's it been seeing Malachi progress through camp, and even in general, what's it like having a receiver like him who seeks out contact, which isn't usually like, you know,
Yeah.
frame of mind pro wide receiver.
No, yeah, I mean, it's been super awesome to see his progress and just the way he goes about things, the way he's understanding the playbook now and understanding just these little things that we would talk about with a guy like Aaron. There's so much, next level thinking when it comes to the football game. And if you don't know it, you just don't. It's kind of one of those things you have to get exposed to it, thrown in the fire, and go mess it up for you to get it right. And you see that. You see that a little bit with Kai early, and now he's taking that next step to where, we don't even worry about it. It's just like Kai's out there, right? All of a sudden when you're a rookie, OTAs, everyone's watching, like, is he going to run the right route? Is he going? Because I remember it was just me 2 years ago, right? So it's really cool to see his progression and the way he's wired. I know he feels like he's still so behind, which is a good way to feel, because if you feel that way, you're going to all of a sudden catch up. You're going to make progress faster. And I feel like he's got a great head on his shoulders. And like you said about the seeking contact, that's the one thing that make me doubt him a little bit. That boy will run in trucks say like Raylan or something. I don't know what's going on in there, but it's really cool, man. And I know we got some cool ways to use him, and he's gonna have a great year. I'm excited to see him run the ball, man.
Last one here. Garrett, just going back to getting on the same page with Aaron. Have you had to alter your style at all? I know, like, we've seen you win with athleticism in these first 2 years. Have you had to do it where, like, does the route have to be more precise because Aaron wants it, 7 yards? Is there anything that you had to change style-wise?
Yeah, I definitely had to change style-wise, but I would say it's in a way that's more natural to the way I play. Reacting, believe what you see, and he just has been around a lot of different receivers, a lot of different guys, and had to figure out a way to get him the ball. And it's valuable. I didn't really realize it. Obviously, I did realize it. I don't want to say that, but when you got him in front of you, and all of a sudden you're like, this dude can throw anything. He can throw it anywhere. So it's just like, it's more of just like, for me, it feels like pure football. I don't know. I feel like I said this one time before. It feels like I'm a kid again. I can kind of believe what I see. It's the best way to put it for me. It's always been a thinking game when you play receiver, and there's these adjustments within plays, within routes, and based on the quarterback, you can either do them or you can't. But with Aaron, everything's you can do it, right? And that's how football should be played, when you can do it. So it's exciting for me and for all the receivers in the room, the tight ends. We all feel like we can really just go out there and play and trust our eyes. Don't have to overthink anything to try and it's just, we're playing with Aaron. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, with that said, you got to be on your doubt. You got to be on your depths. You got to be on your details. That's always a part of it, and sometimes it's even more amplified. But football comes up, and so all of a sudden you got to make a football play. The dude's sitting right at 7 yards, right? Just run past his ass, put your hand up, right? And that's the type of stuff you can do with Aaron that you couldn't do last year and the year before. So it's cool. It's really cool, and I'm excited to be a part of it.